he found a bit of a wall. So we thought, hang on, this is not normal, this is something special. So this is the year 70 to the year 220. When it was discovered, they thought, well, what can it be? Naval base. Oh, they were all excited. It was a Roman naval base. It wasn't actually a Roman naval base. The Roman naval base was in Cardiff. This was actually a Roman imperial post office. Type of travel lodge. Got about 19 rooms in it. Down by there is the cellar, the end one, and that's what it was. It wasn't as glorious as that, but there was a river that used to come down here, which was called Calton River, which went up to a Roman settlement at Landock, and also a road going up here to the 5 Mile Lane, where they've just discovered another Roman settlement. So they used to come here, and obviously the boats used to come in, and they used to ship them up. So pass messages on. It was built to stone. They found out it's Lias limestone, and it's actually coming from the Bull's Nose over by there. When the tide is out, you'll see a flat rock going out. The Bull's Nose used to go out a lot further than that. So that's a stick of rock that's sticking out by there. So this was made from the Bull's Nose. And like everything else, as you see it today, is what they found. They asked it was all flat. So where's the rest of the stone? Well, this was the year 70 to 440. We took the stone from here to build Barry Castle at the top. That's what they done. When Barry Castle was knocked down, and all you see is the remains up there, they took the stone from there to build St. Nicholas Church, which we'll see when we finish. So the stone is sort of like...
Move it.
Just before we start walking again, if you just come across there, it's sort of like a sunken triangle thing. You noticed it? We walked past it.
Yeah.
My walkers, do you know what that was?
Yeah.
Go on then, Owen.
Bandstand.
Sunken bandstand. And what used to happen there? Yeah, by the Barry bands, and also Barry Boxing Club used to use it, and the ladies gymnastic team used to go down there. And everybody used to sit round on the sides, and they used to... very, very quickly to the pebbles. This is called Cold Nap. Nap meaning hump or tump. And if you go back only a couple of 100 years ago, there was no pebbles here. If Roger is lucky enough to take you over to Barry Island, just around that point, we'll see part of it. It's all sand.
I was just saying it's a shame it's not a sandy beach, and Roger said, oh, there is one.
Oh yes,
Literally, you get to that point, and then from the point onwards, it's sand.
There's six beaches in Barry, and no two beaches are the same. But it's the point, and that's what gives an area its name, is because that works as a barrage and stops the pebbles moving round. But all this was built by man in 1920. Before that, you have to go back just not many, just over 100 years ago, this was tidal. And where we parked the car, the water used to go up there. So this was all man-made. Right, let's start walking. Here's a point of interest for you. When they built the boating lake, okay, in 1920, between 1920 and 1926, over there was a swimming pool. But when they built the boating lake, it was designed in the shape of a Welsh harp. So if you come by here, so the boating lake was in the shape of a Welsh harp. And then people say, well, what happened to the boats? Well, if you look across there, you can see some some plants, and in the middle you can see a boat, a blue boat, and you see a chest. And there's actually a couple more around, and there's some in Romney Park as well. So they made them decorative things. The swimming pool was just over by there. That's the deep end. That's the shallow end. You're now drowning. Anyway, it was the biggest outdoor swimming pool in the country. It was 120 yards long and 30 yards wide. The path is the outside of the swimming pool. The different colour railing going along there was the changing rooms. This was the ladies and that was the gents. The different colours were the colours on the doors. So green, red, the colours on the changing room doors. In the two chimney stacks there's some lettering, but you can hardly make it out because it's so old.
Straight out of this going to the pool.
And that was built in 1894, but that was built by the railway people. So railway tracks actually used to come from underneath there, across where the cars, where you see the cars parked, and they used to come by there. On the distance, that point there is called Friars Point. That's another story. But the White House, that was built in 1858. It was probably 14th century. And recently, as far as I think it was 1982, somebody, it was up for sale and somebody bought it. And they went in there and they were renovated it. And they stripped in the larder the walls, got the wallpaper off the walls. And there was a drawing. They wrote a book about it. And it's the drawing of the lady. It's an Elizabethan. So that tells you that it was about 14...
1500.
Yeah. Well done, Owen. So when they stripped the wallpaper off, there was that drawing on the wall. They know her name? Jane...
We can edit later,
Jane
don't we?
Andrew. Alright? She once lived in the house between 1558...
I was looking at the traffic of the islands as well.
Let them start in here. Okay, I'm just making sure everybody's alright. We got to cross over the road here. But in 1812, Sir Samuel Romney bought 2,000 acres of land here in Barry. We bought all of Barry and Porthkerry, Somerville, Lancarvan, 2,000 acres, a lot of land. So what we bought today was part of Sir Samuel's land. Right, he built the Ship Hotel in 1860. Okay, it wasn't actually built there, it was across the road just on the corner by here. Replacing an older public house of the same name. John and Charlotte George ran the pub from 1872 to 1888. Charlotte died, so her son John and his wife Jane ran the pub. But Jane died only a few months later in the bedroom of the pub, when her night dress caught fire. She was only 25. The thing was, at the time, they didn't know that it was actually a night dress caught fire. It was, at the time, they thought it was a thing called spontaneous combustion, because all that was left was her feet. But nothing in the house room, in the room, was actually damaged or burnt or anything. She was just in the middle of a room, and there wasn't much left of her body. With the death of her mother, the woman's wife the same year induced him to retire from the business. The following year, the Ship Hotel was pulled down and rebuilt as we see it today on the same site since 1891. But there's something I want to show you that I haven't done this walk before. Is this photograph here. This was taken outside the ship hotel. Alright, so here we have John holding the baby, and there's Jane there. So that's the family, and that was how the ship hotel used to look, with a thatch roof. Alright? Right, so that's the ship hotel. Very, very quickly, the old harbour. This was the port. Alright? Just below where Linda is standing, just below here, we have the lime kilns. As we walk around the corner, you'll be able to see the lime kilns. Alright? It was quarried by here. Can you see this? These bits of stone here on the right hand side. So the stone was like quarried there, stuck into the lime kilns, where it was heated up and powdered down, and then shipped out by the ships going out. The causeway here, just behind the causeway was the docks. There was a pond on the other side of that called West Pond. Behind that we had number 1 dock and the 2 dock of the docks. This was tidal, so when Davis wanted to build the vessels before, we had to build the causeway across to the island to stop the incoming tide. The railway tracks going across to the breakwater is where the cars are, so the railway tracks used to go all the way across there. And then somebody asked me about, is there any famous things about the boats in the old harbour? Unfortunately not. I think somebody they're just wrecks. I think somebody planted the boats there and decided to leave them. But actually, I think it